Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're stepping into what is essentially an executive masterclass, grounded in the incredible work of Danielle Botti, the founder of the Inner Lab. Now, if you're a high-capacity leader, you already know exactly what it feels like to manage all those intense external pressures of your day-to-day world. But for the next few minutes, we're going to create a really safe, inviting space to just look inward. We're zeroing in on this profound concept she calls Doorway 3, your brain learns what you practice. So take a breath, settle in, and let's take a look at the invisible architecture that's basically running in the background of your entire life.
Okay, let's dive into this. Your brain is always learning, even when you aren't trying to teach it. We usually think of learning as this super intentional thing, right? Like you sit down with a book or you attend a workshop. But the reality? Your mind is constantly absorbing information, picking up on tiny cues and reinforcing patterns in the background, totally without your conscious permission. It is just this brilliant, highly efficient pattern-making machine.
And because of that, the brain adapts, it reorganizes, and it learns through repetition. I just want to pause for a second and let you really absorb that idea. Right now, in this very moment, your neural pathways are constantly being rebuilt based on whatever you repeat. You don't even have to try to build them. It's simply what the human brain does to conserve energy and keep you safe. Basically, whatever you rehearse becomes familiar, and whatever becomes familiar becomes your absolute default. So, moving into section 1, the always learning brain. Let's look at how this happens. And this brilliantly illustrates how the invisible mental architecture of your mind actually gets constructed over time. It definitely doesn't pop up overnight. Every single repeated thought, every repeated emotional response, and every repeated behavior strengthens a pathway. So when you react to stress the exact same way you always do, or when that inner voice repeats the exact same criticism, your brain isn't judging you. It's literally just taking notes. It's cementing that pathway, making it easier and faster for you to travel down that exact same mental road tomorrow. Let's clearly define what a pathway really is. Think of it as an invisible architectural route in your brain, built and strengthened by what you rehearse on autopilot. So if you find yourself instantly bracing for failure, or maybe avoiding conflict, or constantly assuming you just aren't doing enough, I really want to reassure you here. That is absolutely not a character flaw. It's just your architecture doing exactly what it was trained to do. You're not broken. You're just experiencing the very natural results of your current programming. Which leads us perfectly into section 2, the power of repetition and how it shapes who we are. So how does this continuous background learning actually shape our default behaviors as adults? Well, consider this massive number, 148,000. According to research from Danielle's work, that is the estimated number of times the average person hears the word no, or limiting messages like you can't or stop, before they even hit adulthood. Think about that. Repetition is not neutral. That negative repetition becomes your baseline programming. By the time you're expected to step up and be this perfectly confident leader, you've already been heavily trained by these subtle, repetitive prohibitions. If you follow that chain all the way down, you get the architecture of identity. It's like a domino effect. Beliefs are reinforced by repetition. That's all the stuff we've absorbed over the years. Those beliefs directly create our thoughts. Our thoughts drive our actions. And of course, our actions produce our results. This deep-root system of self-talk doesn't just stay neatly in your head. It travels. It dictates how you show up in your relationships, how you handle oversight, and how you carry authority at work. So the crucial point is this. You didn't start adulthood as a blank page. You started inside an invisible architecture. You started adulthood as a page already filled with handwriting. Some of it was probably loving, sure, but a lot of it was fearful or controlling. But hear this loud and clear. You are not your wiring. You are the architect, and an architect always has the power to design something completely new. All right, section 3, practice instead of force. How do we actually build this new design? To build this new architecture, we need a coach's reframe. Now, the traditional wellness industry often pushes this exhausting, kind of shame-based approach where you try to aggressively outachieve your bad habits. We are stepping completely away from that today. Forcing change creates friction. When you aggressively try to change your behavior without establishing safety first, it just triggers your nervous system's protection scripts, things like panic, shutting down, or performative perfectionism. But experiencing new possibilities, that allows the nervous system to settle. It allows the brain to gently reorganize and build new pathways without treating the change as a massive threat. And that is exactly why this whole experience is called a practice. As Danielle puts it, we're not trying to force change. We're helping your brain experience something new often enough that it begins to recognize another possibility. Just let the relief of that sink in for a second.
You do not have to aggressively perform or overachieve your way to healing. You literally just have to offer your brain a new, gentle experience, consistently enough that it starts to recognize a different, safer route.
This right here is the absolute core of neuroalignment. It's the process of bringing your nervous system, your thought patterns, and your chosen identity into the exact same aligned direction. And notice, it's about coherence, right? Not perfection. Alignment just means you stop living divided. It means creating a steady inner safety where you can catch a negative loop happening, regulate your nervous system, and simply choose a truer, healthier script.
So let's get practical with Section 4, your daily assignment. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just how simple the actionable takeaway from today's explainer actually is. I promise you, this is a highly accessible, incredibly low-friction daily practice. The magic number for your assignment today is simply 3. Just repeating something 3 times. That's it. You don't need some massive, earth-shattering breakthrough. You definitely don't need a 2-hour meditation retreat. You just need the willingness to do 3 small repetitions. So here is the practice. Step 1. Repeat one intentional sentence 3 times today. Step 2, just notice how it feels in your body. And step 3, no judgment, only observation. Let's really pause on that last step for a moment. No judgment, only observation. Your goal here is absolutely not to instantly believe the sentence or aggressively fix your mood. Your only goal is to offer your brain a new data point, a tiny, new possibility.
Now, if you're sitting there wondering what sentence to even use, here are some brilliant ready-to-go script lines straight from the Neuroalignment Toolkit. Things like, I can return, steady is strong, one step is enough, or I am allowed to choose a new script. Pick one of these today or just borrow one that deeply matches your own highest values. These are clean, beautifully aligned truths that don't require you to perform or fake anything.
Because, as Danielle reminds us, information helps us understand, but practice helps us become. This explainer gives you the architectural blueprints to understand your brain. But honestly, it's your tiny, daily, low-friction micro-repetitions that will ultimately lay down those new neural pathways. That is how you actually build a safer, truer inner home.
So I want to leave you with this final, vital question to think about. As the architect of your own mind, what sentence will you practice today? Remember, you are absolutely not trapped by the scripts you inherited. You have the power to rewrite them, one breath, one choice, and one gentle repetition at a time. Thank you so much for joining this explainer. Now go practice your alignment.